Hi, Lou from Orchard Forest School. As you can see, I'm inside. I thought I'd come in and do an activity. It's a little bit windy outside, so this is another activity you can have up your sleeve on one of those wet and dreary days. What we're going to do is turn this into a nice bit of weaving, but using some hammer skills. And what you're going to need is some little 1-inch nails. You can use, let me just show you that, you can use longer nails, but you get a better effect if it's a smaller nail. You're going to need a scrap piece of wood, which I've just found, or what we do at Orchard Forest School is we cut up little logs, and then the kids can use these and hammer into these. However, I appreciate that you might not have these. You might find some on your walk. However, I don't really want you carrying a saw around. So it's fine if you go and find little bits of wood like this in the hedgerow. Maybe a farmer's been cutting the trees down or whatever on your walk. But if not, just use a scrap piece of wood. It will be just the same. Obviously you're going to need a hammer. Younger children are going to need really closely supervised with this for obvious reasons. Older children, as long as you're nearby and you go through a bit of safety to start with, then they should be fine. The idea is to get a pen and draw a shape onto either piece of wood. So I'll do both so you can see the effect. So what I'll do is I'll draw a heart, and this is the shape I'm going to do on the little bit of log. And then on the other one I shall do, I'm trying to think now, let's just do a square shape. And if you do find a scrap piece of wood, then actually something like this, the kids can do a few different shapes along here. Or take it in turns and share it. So the next thing you're going to have to do is, I want you just to nail very carefully, hammer these little nails along the actual line that you've just drawn. So it's going to be a bit noisy for a minute. Minding your fingers as you go. And you can see that I've started nailing that one in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue nailing them. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do that and listen to the loud noise, and I'll come back in a minute and show you what I've done, and I'll do the square and then you can see what we do next. See you in a minute. Right, I've just finished mine, and what you'll see there is I've managed to nail in, so hammer in some nails about 1 centimetre in between, and I followed the line of the shape that I've done. And similar there, you'll see the little nails are in there. Now, like I said before, if you've got small children, you're going to have to really supervise them very closely. What we do at Orchard Forest School is we give them a little hammer, we're holding the nail, they're positioning it for us, and then we hold it, and then very gently they're going to nail it, hammer it in with their hammer. And we have 2 3-year-olds doing this, so it's quite safe as long as you're supervising the children. But if you're a bit anxious about that, then obviously get the older children to hammer the nails in, and then they can do the threading. So you can work together as a team or individual to do this. So the next stage is to find some wool or some simple string that you might have around the house or in the garden. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but of course if you've got bright colours, then that's all the better. And then you're going to tie the string onto one of the nails, and then carefully the child can wrap it around, and I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of wrapping it around each individual nail and then taking it to the next nail, so following the line that I've drawn onto the piece of wood, and then you will start having your shape. So you can leave it at that, so you've just got one piece of wool. You could carry on doing it so it actually goes up the nail. And this is where you need to make sure that the nails are quite securely into the wood, because sometimes if it's not right into the wood, then when you're doing this part of the activity, the chances are that the nail might pop out and then you've lost part of your lovely shape. So you can carry on doing it with one colour, or at this point you could add another colour. So simply by tying your next bit of string or wool on. So I'm going to leave that dangling for now, and then I'm going to carry on doing what I've just done, but with the next colour. And then what you'll see is a pattern building up of the different colours. So you can take this round again, and then you could start with the original piece, or if you wanted to add another colour to it, then by all means do. You could have 3 or 4 different colours on this shape. It depends how much the nail goes into the wood, it depends on how many pieces of string you could fit up the nail. Like I said earlier, one important thing is to make sure that the nail goes quite securely into the piece of wood you're choosing. And what I've found is this piece of wood is quite a hard piece of wood, so it was quite hard to get the nails in. However, this piece of scrap wood was really soft, and the nails went in a lot more easily. So you might have a couple of pieces of wood that you can play around with first to see what's going to be more achievable for the children, and probably the softer wood that you can find would be better for the younger children. So give that a go. I'm going to carry on, and then I'll show you in a minute my creations. But like I said, it's something different to do, something that has a few different processes with using tools safely, so using the hammer very safely, and then obviously hand and eye coordination again with threading and using wool. These can then be just decorations left around the house, or just for the sake of doing it. It's a great process for the kids to enjoy and a great activity. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've just completed my heart. So I don't know if you can see, 2, 4, 5. I managed to get 5 layers of string on the nails that I used. And what I've done is I've just tied a knot on the last piece of string. Just going to snip that off, so that's that one done. And actually the depth of that, it can be used as a little trinket holder, so you could use it for little bits. You can put your rings or earrings or whatever in there, but again, it's just something nice to look at as well. And then this one, what I did is I used my multicoloured wool that I keep getting out, and this is a more simpler one, so a square shape. Probably for younger children would be a simpler shape, and I've just done a depth of 3 strings there, you can see, and like I said, you don't even have to do that, just once would be great, just whatever the child wants to do, keeps them occupied. The hammering is the fun bit, which a lot of the kids like doing at Orchard Forest School, and they can sit for hours and hours. So you might not even want to take it to the next level and do the threading. It might just be that you give them a pot of nails, a bit of scrap wood and a hammer, and let them get on with it and make a design. If they're very adventurous, they could actually write, if you get a nice piece of wood like this, you could write their name along it and do a sign for their bedroom wall. So be creative, have a go. Careful of those fingers and thumbs with the hammers, but you know, give the kids a chance. So enjoy it, have fun, and see you soon. Take care, bye.